the home side, the Giants, have got Thorman, the skipper. Then they go Lawrence, Lolisi, Fatuira and Cudjoe. Brown partnering Robinson at halfback. Forwards, Mason, Gattis, Scandalis, Crabtree, Snitch and Jones. And the bench, Raleigh, Jackson, Griffin and Ryan Hudson for the coach John Sharp. Now the Dragons from Catalan, and it's Greenshields at fullback. Murphy, Katabi, Ragan and Pello, Mogg and Bosk. The forwards, Chan, Gorel and Gise, Fakir, Croker and Carlaw. And on the bench for them, Ferriol, Muniz, Casti and Tuxegas. For the coach, Mick Potter. Out come the Catalan Dragons. Following a wonderful Easter, they arrive here with a club record unbeaten sequence of 4 Super League matches behind them. They finished bottom of the table in 2006, 10th last year, plus they made it to the Challenge Cup final. Now the Dragons want a playoff place. Huddersfield have done it tough lately, just 1 win in 5, but what a win. It was against St Helens here, 28-26 on Easter Monday. 24 all at Hull KR last Sunday. They came back from 12-point deficits on 2 occasions. 4 starts to matches must be absolutely infuriating John Sharp. Richard Silverwood is tonight's big match referee. We're all ready to go here at the Gulf Farm Stadium. It has been drizzling a little bit immediately before kick-off, but as you can see, the pitch is dry, and we should get a fast, free-flowing, open game of rugby league here tonight. And look at the bounce of that ball. That was nearly a foxer as far as the Huddersfield defence were concerned. Mason coming to the rescue.
Bit of nerves showing there on the Giants. You've already mentioned the fact that the Catalans yet to win on this ground. But when you look through the French outfit, they've got really big forwards. Going to be pretty hard, and of course they'll need the likes of Crabtree to take them over the advantage line.
Yes, Crabtree playing tonight in the second row. This is number 10, John Scandalis. There is Crabtree, 6'7" in his stocking feet. And here is Kevin Brown. That is charged down, and Brown has got the ball back. It's going to be 6 to go. The referee says it's a knock on.
Well, he certainly had a fumble, did Brown, but was it backwards? Charged down. Really took his time, didn't he? The standoff, Kevin Brown. Certainly a fumble. Pretty hard to tell from that angle. Either way, head and feed to the Catalan.
50th appearance for Huddersfield tonight for Kevin Brown. Catalan Dragons with possession here. This is Adam Mogg, and he gets the ball away to Greenshields. Important tackle by Fatuira, and finished off by the man who put the knock on in, Kevin Brown. This is Mogg again, great ball out the back. He got the ball away to Eunice Katabi, and Katabi found Murphy. This is a great opening set of 6 for the Catalan Dragons from deep inside the Giants' territory. Here's a penalty for them now. Laying on in the tackle, maybe a flop by George Gattis.
Came in very late with the hooker. Well, they were stretched out wide with the Giants. Oh, it was Mason. That was silly play by the prop forward, Keith Mason. Tackle had been completed, and all they did, he was just leaning on. Lazy. A lazy start by the Giants. They've really got to get themselves sorted out. Mick Potter will be quite happy.
He's done a great job since he came over from Australia, didn't he, Steve-O, Mick Potter?
Fantastic. It really has put them together, as you mentioned. The longest run without a defeat. 3 wins and a draw. The draw last week, of course. But that was silly play by Keith Mason, and he knows it could cost his side 2 points. This guy's in exceptionally good form.
Well, he needs 6 points, Thomas Bosk, to become the first to score 300 points for the Catalan Dragons club. And Thomas Bosk here is probably on the shots to points ratio the best kicker in Super League at the moment. And he has got the scoreboard rolling already for the Catalan Dragons. The men from Perpignan lead by 2 points to 0.
That could be a little bit of a blessing in disguise, mainly due to the fact that the Giants seem to be just a little bit lazy, as you saw the French side work out on that right-hand flank.
Stay behind. Stay on.
A great start then for the Catalan Dragons. And Huddersfield restart via the boot of Chris Thorman. It's a high hanging kick-off. Underneath it is Adam Mogg. And that ball is knocked backwards and back to 0 in the tackle count, says the referee, Richard Silverwood.
Well, wasn't that involving in the tackle? They seem to have forgotten that rule as the officials this season.
Michael Lawrence got a hand into the ball as it was being fed out wide. Huddersfield usually on their own ground, a different kettle of fish. They have yet to win away from home, but the Catalan Dragons are running them wide here. They're looking very dangerous, Phil Clark, early.
Well, they are, and they're looking with the one option from the kick-off restart and that play that they want to test the inexperience of the two Huddersfield wingers, Lawrence and Cudjoe. They'll be asked a few questions here tonight. There's sometimes a magnet in the rugby league ball which sucks you towards it when you're defending, and it's important that they resist that temptation. The kicks charge down. Do you know charge downs of kicks can go either way, as we've just seen one knocked back here now. Catalan, third set here now to attack.
It's Dane Carlaw. It looked a little bit harsh, but were the hands raised of the Huddersfield player who charged in at the kicker? Well, that was the view of referee Richard Silverwood as Guisset holds on here for the Catalan Dragons. Centre field, Gorrell was the dummy half. Bosk gets the ball away to Jamil Fakir. Ball hits the ground, they keep it going. It comes wide here to Dimitri Pallo. And he is halted by the tackle from Jamal Lolisi. 4 tackles gone. It was Bosk, and that was Chan, and this is Mogg. And that is
gave himself up. Silly play by the standoff Adam Mogg. He gave himself up to the official. He stopped, threw the dummy. And then he said, oh, well, I've got to be ad for that. If he'd have carried on, perhaps he may have just convinced Mr. Silverwood. As it happens, it's a very relieving kick from Huddersfield. As we've already mentioned, Mick Potter's sent out the message. Get it out wide at every opportunity.
Well, he continues to be linked with the vacancy that will arrive at St Helens at the end of the year when Daniel Anderson goes back home. But, well, Mick Potter has denied the fact that in some papers he's reported to have already signed a 3-year agreement. Mick Potter says that is absolutely not the case. This, meanwhile, is a former St Helens player, Keith Mason.
Wait. Go.
Gattis is the dummy half. Now it's with Kevin Brown. Brown shows it to Jones. Will take this 4th tackle himself, 20 metres away from the line. Kevin Brown. Brown to Skandalis. Oh, good ball to Gattis. He's, though, cut down. It was a desperate tackle from Greenshields. And this is Luke Robinson. He pushes it out wide. Ball was touched then by a Catalan hand, wasn't it? No, the referee says Snitch didn't get it properly, and it wasn't touched by one of the Catalan Dragons, so it's the turnover. 6 minutes of the match gone. It's quite a vigorous start. Brian Noble.
It's been a super start, Eddie. I think we've seen Huddersfield struggle to get out of their own half because of a couple of their own errors, and we've seen a very, very vigorous and large Catalan team take the game to them. It needs to settle down the game. Huddersfield need to settle down and find themselves an end to a set.
Guisset was hit by a big tackle by Skandalis, who I think was hurt in that, and he hasn't got up yet.
I think it's his right knee, Eddie.
That's Mogg, and Mogg gets the ball away. And this is Yunus Katabi. And it's Fatawira Robinson and Lawrence, and over the sideline he goes. Tremendous defence from the Huddersfield Giants.
Great stuff. There's the problem for Skandalis. He went in awkward and then he just touched on his right knee. This is great stuff, isn't it? Still moving, nothing wrong with it all, just the added weight from Robinson in the end. This is the injury. You'll see him just grimace and grab that right knee.
The number 22 for Huddersfield tonight, Michael Lawrence. I watched him, very impressive last week in the drawn game over against Hull Kingston Rovers. Still only 17 years of age. Reminds me very much of perhaps a young Leon Price in the way he plays. Just keep an eye out for him tonight and the rest of the season.
Oh, that looked high. Not so, says the official.
Big hit there by Fakir on Stuart Jones. Gattis is the man in at dummy half. Gattis.
The one thing that the Giants will find very difficult tonight is the fact that they're going to try going right down the middle against this big Catalan six. Their forwards are massive.
Gattis, the man who has been brought into Huddersfield to do the Brad Drew job that he has done for this club prior to his transfer to Wakefield. Of course, Drew himself now out of the game for a while because of injury, but that's a great chase from that kick.
Was the back kick from Chris Thorman, was it? Knew exactly what he needed, came on that open side into the blind, gave himself plenty of room. Let's not forget that Huddersfield's 2 previous kicks, both have been charged down.
This is Croker, former Australian international, New South Wales State of Origin star, Jason Croker. Mark gets the ball away to Katabi. Important tackle by Michael Lawrence, that was. Helped out by Luke Robinson.
Oh. Kevin, come on.
Good tackling again from Huddersfield, just over the halfway line. Gattis and Mason. Kick down the middle and straight down the throat of Chris Thorman.
Not the best kick, was it? But at least they got there in numbers.
And hold.
Some cruel defence by the French. They really are giving it to their opposites.
This is Leroy Kudjoe, the other teenage winger being used tonight, because Rod Jensen is out injured. In fact, they've got a couple of other wingers, Martin Aspinwall and David Hodgson, who they haven't seen in the Giants strip yet this year. Some good signings for them in the close season. Hodgson particularly was, but he hasn't been seen, neither has Aspinwall.
Well,
good kick from Robinson.
We just saw Skandalis take the ball up over the advantage line, and he got up quite gingerly. He's not overcome that knee injury. What a big hit from Robinson, finished off by Crabtree.
Greenshields certainly felt that. Let's go down to the sideline and Bill.
Yeah, Eddie, Steve-O mentioned it. Skandalis, initially they thought it was just a bang that he was going to be able to run off. I'm not so certain that's going to be the case, and John Skandalis doesn't look at all convincing out there at the moment, and they've had another check on him, and there seems to be a bit of a conference going on the sidelines for the Giants now as to whether they're going to make a change. And Paul Anderson down on the sidelines with the headsets on in contact with coach John Sharp, and Paul Jackson just out, possibly warming up to come on.
Good offload that was. That was Gorel who found Clint Greenshields. The offload was by Bosk. Greenshields gets Catalan to the halfway line. Gorel with the kick.
Okay.
Angle kick.
Good on, Adam.
That's a good kick too, and Thorman is the man who deals with it, and then the chasers deal with Thorman. Lost that. Claiming he was impeded as he tried to play the ball.
Lost the ball.
I think what we've seen, Eddie, is the Catalans really caught with getting out their own half really, really well. The dummy half runners have got in there to give their big forwards a chance to get back. There we see the error from Chris Foreman, who clearly drops the ball. That's now given the Catalans field position.
Yes, a glorious opportunity for the French here.
Well, they're looking by far the more dangerous.
Got great ball on the inside. Important tackle by Thorman, but an illegal tackle. It was round the head on Clint Greenshields. And this is another gift, 2 points if the Catalan Dragons wish to accept it.
Well, they'll certainly take it. No two ways about it. Greenshields would have felt that from his opposite, Chris Thorman. Right round the neck. No alternative from the man with the whistle, Mr. Silverwood. This surely... there's Jackson making the entrance.
And Skandalis leaving the scene for the time being. That's a big blow to Huddersfield. Yet another injury, as I say. Aspinall and Hodgson yet to figure this year. Stephen Wild, Shane Elford also missing. Rod Jensen out as well. John Sharp, the Huddersfield coach, recently agreed a 1-year rolling contract with the club here to stay at the Gal Farm Stadium. So as every day goes by, he has a 12-month contract that is in existence. It's a fantastic deal for John Sharp, that. Bosk adds 2 more points, and Catalan Dragons ahead here by 4 points to 0.
And fully deserved as well.
Huddersfield might be relieved it's only 4.
I don't think Huddersfield have struggled so much. I mean, the fact that they've lost Skandalis is a blow to them, but it's perhaps not the worst. Huddersfield, of all the sides in Super League, are very good at making ground. They've got several big players, and the other ones who are a bit smaller can get forward and over the advantage line. In fact, if you look in terms of metres made by teams, they are one of the best in this competition. They'll miss Skandalis, but Jackson and Griffin, when he comes onto the field, they can certainly get the Giants forward. It's finding that element of class, and the way to break through the Catalans' defence will be the test here tonight.
Well, the Catalan Dragons won just 2 away in 2006. They got 2 away wins and a draw in 2007. They've already won at Castleford and Harlequins this year. They're obviously coming to terms with the special requirements that are needed for the extra travelling that they have to do. A win here would ensure their best ever away performance, and that with 2/3 of the season still to go. Great improvement and great work being done here. This again is Fakir. That's the last tackle, 10 metres inside the Huddersfield half. Running it on every occasion. That's off the knees of the young winger, Kudjoe. And it's head and feed here to Huddersfield Giants. He was ruled not to have played at that ball.
Make sure we bind tight, back
Well,
three.
he's saying that the ball has hit the man, and he's probably got it right, but it's a big relief for the Huddersfield Giants because they're all at sea at the moment in their defensive quality. It was a beautiful move by the French outfit. They came from the blind side right on that short. And the crowd are getting frustrated, mainly due to the fact that Huddersfield, they really have made no progress into the opposition half.
Yes, it's a great start from the Catalan Dragons. Here, though, is Robinson. Robinson gets it away to Fatouir, who gets away from Katabi and Mogg, but Katabi comes back again and brings him down on the 4th tackle. Still inside their own half of the field. Robinson trying to prize an opening up the middle.
Got to be a good kick and chase here.
And Thorman off the outside of the boot, and that will find its way to touch. It was a sliced kick from Thorman, doesn't look terribly pleased with it. Try and 4 goals last week against Hull Kingston Rovers. 4 goals in a home win against St Helens. 15 minutes gone, 4-0. Super League extra time follows this match via the red button on your handsets. And guests tonight in the studio will be Brian Noble and Phil Clark for in-depth analysis of this match and a preview of the weekend. A weekend, of course, that includes Leeds against Wigan.
We nearly got a strike against the head there, which is very unusual indeed. It's important now that Huddersfield try to keep the Catalans in their own half. They failed to do that nearly on every occasion.
It's difficult with players like Alex Chan in great form at the moment. He's a threat when he runs the ball. He's also got that short pass in him as well, and it makes the Catalan side a hard team to start on that roll forward.
Mogg has been involved in a lot of everything that's been good about the Catalan Dragons in the opening 15-16 minutes or so as well. This, though, is Alex Chan again. That's the last tackle. Whoops, and a little fumble. The ball then goes straight up in the air from the boot of Bosk. It's difficult, though, for Thorman. Offside, though, against the Catalan Dragons chasers. Greenshields was first to Thorman, and he was in front of the kicker when Bosk put this massive bomb up.
Wait.
Only just left his run a bit too early. Well spotted there by the official.
And under pressure, actually, from Greenshields, well taken by Thorman.
I think that was the key. Huddersfield put some kick pressure twice now on the Catalans' last play, and they've been rewarded with a ball on the full or a penalty. Great play from the Huddersfield. If you scruffy defensive set, finish with a great last play that puts the kicker under pressure.
This is Paul Jackson. Just 4 tries in his entire career, one of them against Catalan here in 2006. But
Poor
what
play.
a mess.
Poor play there by Snitch. He was trying to take the flat pass, trying to give the impression that he was going to be the dummy runner. Took his eyes off the football.
Here we are, guys, back
You
here.
could see Croker coming towards him.
Back here.
Well, it's a disappointing start. John Sharp will not be happy with this. They haven't had a chance of getting to any sort of rhythm whatsoever. You can't say that about the Catalans. They've really been swinging it around.
Challenge Cup finalists 2006, Catalan Dragons 2007. They were at Wembley, of course. Both of them were fodder for St Helens on the day, but their presence in those finals represents terrific progress for these two clubs in a relatively short space of time. And this is Jason Croker, who will play the ball to Gorel. And this is Guisset. It's suddenly opened up for Guisset, but he's lost the ball, Jerome Guisset. That was great pressure from Crabtree and company there.
Crabtree did very well because his initial hesitation, was it a hand in there? Perhaps not, but it was his hesitation to fill the gap, and the big fella nearly got through it.
Robinson feeds the scrum, gets the possession, comes down this short side with Brown.
Great
Short
tackle by
pass, it
Pello.
was terrific defence there on Lolisi by Dimitri Pello. But just overcooking it a little bit. Huddersfield get a relieving penalty. They'll be delighted about that.
To breathe a big sigh of relief, because there's only one side in it at the moment. And I suppose in many ways, you know, the coaches and the players, they realise that, you know, things will just swing around. It normally does.
We'll see both of these sides, and of course all the other 10 in Super League at the Millennium Magic weekend, the first weekend in May. Huddersfield will play Warrington, and that's the lineup for Saturday. Here's the lineup for Sunday, when the Dragons will play the Quins. 3rd and 4th of May. There's the telephone number, there's the website if you need any information about that Millennium Magic weekend, which is a fantastic jamboree of rugby league in the Welsh capital. Offside again against Catalan Dragons.
Keith Mason thought he was through a huge gap there, but the French side, yeah, when you go ahead before the official, he hasn't got much option there. Kise got it very, very quickly. And it's nice, isn't it, to see an official pull someone up with an offside, immediately he's gone offside. Last couple of weeks, we've seen him allow 4 or 5 passes and then go back. Irritates the players, irritates me, irritates the fans.
This is Kevin Brown for Huddersfield, looking to find somewhere to go in between them, and they're offside again, Huddersfield.
Wouldn't surprise me if they go for the 2. They go for the tap. They have done.
Yes, they do go for the tap. Mason with the first drive for Huddersfield. Offside again. Well, the referee has to have words here. He's got to pull the skipper out, and he has got to warn them. That's 4 penalties on the run. Tapped again. That's Thorman. This is Fatuira, and he's grounded by his opposite number, Adam Mogg. There's the youngster Lawrence. Lawrence to Thorman. Thorman to Mason. 6-2 the penalty count in Huddersfield's favour, yet Catalan Dragons are behind on the scoreboard. This now Kevin Brown again. Brown pops the ball up, it's Lolisi. Lolisi to Cudjoe, whistle's gone, forward pass. It's not a forward pass, it's a penalty.
Gone through.
For crossing, I think.
Well, he was well away from it. You'll see from the... Someone is taken out there. Slide. Watch him come through. Well, I must say that has confused me.
Just run through the gap.
Well, I couldn't see it. Well, Brian Noble's got a more experienced eye than all of us. Brian, I couldn't see anything wrong with that.
Well, I think he's saying the one-in defender for the Catalans, number 6 there, I think it's Ragoin, was impeded by the runner that ran through. The guy on the outside there, just behind Kevin, number 6, gets impeded there. He's saying, and there's a case for that. He gets slightly impeded, isn't he?
Bosch was impeded by Stuart Jones.
Go. 4, stand.
4-0, Catalan Dragons ahead. And that was David Ferriol, who's on as a substitute in this first half. This is Adam Mogg, who goes to ground on the last.
Mark it square. Don't be grabbing it, Adam.
And Corral with nowhere to go then. He went round in a full 360 degrees. Just pops the ball down the line. Here is Michael Lawrence again. And as Phil was saying, what a prospect this young man is. He started the last 2.
Go.
Good defence again, though, from the Catalan Dragons.
It's getting to the point, just over halfway through this first half, where perhaps the Catalans coach, Mick Potter's starting to becoming a bit concerned. They've had most of the possession, most of field position, and yet they've only got those 2 penalties to count for it.
Neat offload. Huddersfield will come forward here with Stuart Jones again. Bosch and Pello doing the job on him, though. Plays the ball there to Gattis. Here is Crabtree. Big old Crabtree trying to get those legs pumping. Tackle is completed on the last. Gattis again. Finds Thorman. Thorman will hoist the kick. It's difficult over on that far side, but well dealt with by Justin Murphy. He's missed the last 4. This is only his 3rd appearance of 2008. The 29-year-old Catalan Dragons winger. this is Pello once again from dummy half. Not tackled there. Now he is by Snitch.
Go.
And Adam Mogg has a run from dummy half.
4, ball leaving. Go.
Oh, it's good play on the blind side.
Last one.
Wonderful
Very
run.
good play. Good
Wonderful
job that
run from
Jackson got
Croker.
there, yeah.
Mogg again, harassed by Robinson, bounces away from him though. Oh, and the ball is thrown into touch by Adam Mogg. Did all the early stuff right, the basics if you like, and then just got the last pass wrong.
Well, he passes it without looking. It may confuse the defence from time to time, but you've got to have some idea where the man's going to be. Bad mistake, bad error.
Eddie, Huddersfield have a different strategy to Catalan when it comes to playing the hooker. They have two guys who come on and generally play 40 minutes each, and it might be the difference there that the Giants needed. Ryan Hudson comes on and will run and perhaps cause more problems as they go wide here with the ball as the Giants are in that dummy half.
This is Lalisi. He just gets the Huddersfield Giants over the halfway line on the end of tackle number 3. Ryan Hudson. This now Stuart Jones. Stuart Jones gets out of one tackle, can't get out of the next. Down he goes on the fourth tackle. Hudson waits dummy half. Here is Crabtree. Crabtree then to Robinson. Robinson finds Thorman. He jinks inside. One would be tackler. That was Katabi. Can't get away from Croker though. This is the last now.
Should have offloaded the fullback there, Thorman. It was a nice step. He had good support.
Not the best kick from Luke Robinson. Here comes Dimitri Pello, and here comes Bill Arthur.
With better news of John Skandalis, has been back to the dressing room. It's a bang, direct blow on the knee, which caused him a lot of discomfort, but they are hoping that he'll be able to shake it off and will be able to come back. And the last thing John Sharp, the Giants coach, needs is another injury to a key player, so he'll be relieved at that news.
Well, it's been almost a spring-like day throughout the course of today, and we were looking forward to, for the first time in a week or two, a good open game on a dry surface. But since this game kicked off, the rain has been tumbling down here in Huddersfield. It's making the pitch greasy again. The ball will obviously be difficult to control, but at the moment the Catalan Dragons attack is being controlled by the Huddersfield Giants, even though the Dragons are 4 to the good. That's a good kick. Thorman is good underneath it too. Gets away from one, can't get away from Remy Casti or David Ferriol.
Good option there by Catalans. Gave it plenty of height. Made sure that everybody could get on side. It has been a real struggle for the Giants to get over the halfway line. Good defence by the French outfit. That's got to be a penalty, surely.
It is. Not standing square. Looked like there was a little bobble there actually at the play of the ball as well by Huddersfield.
Well, there's no way in the world he's onside, is it? Remy Casti. Muniz went the other way. Now, what can the Giants produce? Not much options been on show so far.
Hudson, and here now is a good strong run from Darryl Griffin, the England international.
This is where
Hudson waits behind him at dummy half. Here is Luke Robinson. Robinson fires the pass behind everybody. Frustration for John Sharp, frustration for Michael Lawrence on the wing, and frustration for Luke Robinson. I think he was trying to find Thorman.
He was, but it was a far too hard pass. They have not got into any rhythm whatsoever. Fortunately, their defence has been good. Scrambling out wide, they've had to.
Add up the errors, add up the penalties. We've had 17 stoppages in the opening 27.5 minutes.
Says it all.
Jamil Fekir is put on his back.
Go.
Here come the Catalan Dragons again.
The defensive line from the Giants has been sorted out. They look a lot more confident now. See how they go up in one unit. No one's breaking that line. No one's going in on the angle, leaving a wider gap.
Adam Mogg, ball inside. Catalan Dragons' first ever win against Huddersfield last March, 23-22. And guess who scored the vital point? Stacey Jones. Who else? Out on the full from Adam Mogg.
Certainly not his evening. He was pretty solid in that department. Previously, we saw him
I think he was put
offload a
under
forward
pressure because
pass.
it was an inaccurate pass from acting halfback, and it's the most important skill in the entire game of rugby league, passing the ball accurately from behind the play of the ball. It's one that often goes unnoticed because so many players do it so well, but as soon as it's 6 inches away from where the ball receiver wants it, the entire play can break down.
Kevin Brown will play the ball here for Huddersfield. This is Steve Snitch.
You can just get the impression, you know, that Kevin Brown and Luke Robinson have got to be a little bit more purpose. There you see it was a shocker. He had to lean forward. Vital seconds lost, as Phil Clark has explained. But they really have got to stamp themselves their authority, Brown and Robinson.
The ball then from Robinson found Jackson. Jackson was tackled on number 4. This is Ryan Hudson. Went a bit high then. Did Fakir, but they keep going with Crabtree, the Giants.
Good work from Hudson.
Tackle.
Good work from Hudson. Got him rolling. He's doing it again.
And that's going to be too strong. The ball on this surface will skim away. Ryan Hudson on as a substitute. 60th appearance for Huddersfield tonight for Ryan Hudson, and this is his second spell. Try in Perpignan last year.
That's first. Leave in.
Coming up to the half-hour mark. 4-0, 2 penalties. Went backwards, says the referee.
Really took full advantage of that as well. Huddersfield stopped.
Expecting the decision, it never came. Gorel gets the ball away to Bosch. Here is Adam Mogg. Fatuira is all round him. Quick play the ball though from Catalan Dragons. Bosch was in there quickly, and that is Tuxagas, who is brought to ground on halfway. Mogg again. Now Gregory Muniz. He goes down on the last. Mogg again. Oh, it's another wild kick, and it's out on the full again from Adam Mogg. There's nothing wrong with the first pass there.
Absolutely not, but one of the things that Huddersfield have done really, really well as they've got into the game, they've restricted territory on the Catalans more and more. I've been really impressed with the way they've put pressure on the kicker for the last play, which has produced a result on 4 occasions now.
El Crabtree makes way for Andy Raleigh, who comes on. Here is Darrell Griffin. Good tackling on halfway.
It was a pretty smart move by the Giants coach John Sharp to bring off the bench Ryan Hudson. He certainly injected a little bit more speed into the play the ball area. Oh, Robinson's made the half break.
He did, and he stumbled his way further forward, halted by Mogg. Hudson finds Thorman. Thorman then to Snitch. Snitch puts his shoulder in, but the Catalan Dragons defence stands firm. That's the 4th tackle. Here is Thorman. Thorman to Robinson. Robinson, back it goes to Brown. Brown then finds Raleigh just on. That's the last one for Huddersfield. 9 metres away from the line. They come down the short side with Brown again. It finds its way to Lolisi, and Lolisi is held up just short of the line. That'll be the turnover.
Not a bad option to go for the power play either. Robinson nearly got away. Mogg got back just in time.
Did well to hang on to that, Luke Robinson. If he didn't, he did well to con everybody that he had.
You know, when you go for the power play and you know you're going to keep them down and about 5 to 10 metres from their own goal line, it's not a bad option. You've got your defence set up very quickly. Sometimes with the kick in the touch goes too far, and they get that advantage of restarting the game on the 20-metre line.
This is David Ferriol.
It looks as though he was going to offload there.
He did. He thought about it briefly, didn't he? Then thought better of it. Raleigh standing firm, but the run was pretty strong from Casti. Mogg hoists it up on the last. Another tester here for Thorman. Generally, though, they've been coming straight out of the ground, out of the air, rather than right at him, right down his throat, Thorman. But he's been solid underneath them for all of that.
Well, it's not a bad option by the French side because they know that they're playing into this. It's a pretty strong wind as well. So the ball's going to be caught, held up in the air, but he's diffused them quite well as Thorman so far. It really has been a case of defences on top on both sides.
It has. Cudjoe couldn't get anywhere then. This is Hudson now. It's with Brown. Brown to Paul Jackson out there.
Great work from Adam Mogg. Came in on the angle. He normally works out on that right centre position.
Hudson Just popped the pass up for Steve Snitch. He goes down again. The tackle from Adam Mogg.
Go!
Last one. Robinson. Up it goes from Luke Robinson's boot. And Greenshields after this. Took it well. He could hear that Kevin Brown was closing.
First by the chain, Giants! Wait! Go!
Both fullbacks have done pretty well, haven't they? They've caught everything that's been thrown their way, and they've managed to get their team rolling forward. They're both very good fullbacks.
Bit of a problem for one of the Catalans in back play. He's receiving treatment. They're down to 12 fresh men at the moment.
But the attack continuing just inside their own half.
Yunus Katabi, the right centre, who has been targeted and put under a lot of pressure by Vatuira, and
Last one, Jack
Gas currently playing and filling in that right centre position.
Square. Go!
This is the last one. Bosch with a little dink over the top. That's going to hit the deck. Oh, the bounce was awful. Well picked up in the end by Leroy Cudjoe. Let's go straight to Bill for the injury news.
Jason Croker only just come off the field for the Catalan Dragons. He's right back on it now because Yunus Katabi, I think, is finished for the evening. Looks like the right shoulder that's the problem. Went down having been involved in a tackle, and so Croker is back out there.
He seemed to get a crack, didn't he? Might have been off his own player, or was it off Steve Snitch?
I'm not right sure. It was innocuous, really, but often works that way. Good blindside move, but he's going towards the touchline, and he's over it.
Referee shouted hell. The man was in the air, Lolisi. And once the feet come up off the ground, that's it. Tell you what, they were a bit hard done by the Catalan Dragons, weren't they? He thinks so as well. Paul Potter.
Well, you mentioned the rain, that it's coming down now, and those two penalties, the 4 points, could really be a wonderful advantage because the surface is very slippy.
That's Brown. Big hit by Dimitri Pello, but Lolisi was up to it. And it's another penalty for offside against the Catalan Dragons.
Well, he's got to talk to the skipper now.
Well, it's the 10th penalty, 10-3 in Huddersfield's favour. Referee hasn't made the mark, so Brown will be brought back. Wait for the whistle, he says. But with such a huge amount of penalties going Huddersfield's way, you would think that the referee would have a word with the Catalan Dragons skipper in a moment.
Well, Hudson's tried a few times, gone his own. Will he try to convince him and go for the post?
Hudson finds Robinson. Robinson finds Thorman. Thorman tries to cut inside. Mogg did so, but Croker was there. This is Robinson again. The ball away to Hudson. Good ball to Brown. Here is Jamal Lolisi. Huddersfield are in. The score's a level, courtesy of Jamal Lolisi. And this overwhelming penalty count that is going against the Catalan Dragons has finally been made to tell. Lolisi, his 39th appearance. That's his 18th try for Huddersfield.
Beautiful play by Brown. They used a dummy runner, and when Hudson got that ball away, you always knew they had the overlap. Lolisi didn't need to look for his winger. Dummy runner back on the inside on 2 occasions, but this is where it all started. When Hudson offloaded to Brown, Brown knew that he had the outside runner. And for once in this game, the Giant fans have something to cheer about. Well finished. He's perhaps been the most dangerous in the Giants uniform. Every time he's had the football, he's threatened to go out on that right-hand side. It was a nice finish.
Well, his sheer quality, Lolisi. Formerly with Canterbury, Canberra and West. He played in 2 World Club challenges. Leeds in 2005 and Bradford in 2006 faced him. And Thorman adds the extras. Huddersfield ahead, 6 points to 4. The advantage for the home side's been a long time coming.
It's all a matter of putting someone in the same circle. You've got 2 players there, and you can tell that he's going to get it. And as soon as Hudson offloads, Pello is out of the equation, and that is a good try.
Yeah, Jamal Lolisi, he is all class. 2 New Zealand caps.
What's up, mate?
Huddersfield in front for the first time. But it's taken them 38 minutes, Brian, to break this French resistance.
And they've had to be patient, haven't they, Eddie? If you look at what they've done, they've improved as the game's gone on. We've seen a couple of opportunities they didn't quite take when they were at that end of the field, with a similar type of play, with a man behind the line extra type of play. They've patience, they've got field position, it's worked out for them this time.
So a minute and a half to half-time. They've scored 42 points in both home meetings with the Catalan Dragons. Two of their best scores in Super League ever for the Huddersfield Giants. Don't know whether it'll be 42 tonight, in all honesty.
Well, not in these conditions, but I mentioned it earlier. John Sharp, the decision to bring on Ryan Hudson has changed this game completely.
Jones gets the second tackle in on Clint Greenshields. Here is Ferriol. Was that high? No. Pretty level game, isn't it? In terms of scoring as well, but on the penalty count, it's 10-3 in Huddersfield's favour. It was Pello. This is Bosch again. Pumps the ball down the middle, off the right boot.
Not a bad one either.
Thorman pouches it, brings it forward as far as Murphy. Bit of help also there from Tuxagas as he goes to ground. Now with the youngster Lawrence. Big things expected of him.
They'll be happy with a 2-point lead. They'll just wind the clock down now. They shouldn't be doing anything silly.
Well, they probably won't have time to do anything other than go in for the half-time break here. Hudson was about to pass that, but said, well, I'll take the tackle instead, and we'll turn around with a 2-point advantage. Well, he came off the bench, Ryan Hudson, and Steve-O has indicated that maybe was the key decision that John Sharp made in that first half.